Demo 4, Container Management and Upgrades. This demo will be split in half. The first half is all about controlling the gateway container, and the second half will focus on how to upgrade the gateway container. Let's begin. So I will select Service Configuration, and from the drop-down menu, BlueCat Gateway. We see Enable Gateway Service, Status Running, Gateway is running. I've got AWS Cloud Discovery 20.2.1 running in the browser, and everything looks good. This container is running. To control the container, you can't do that from the gateway service page that you've been seeing a lot of in all the demos. From this server details page, you have the Diagnostics tab. Click there, and as you scroll down, you will see BlueCat Gateway. This appears when gateway service is enabled. Here you'll see an action drop-down menu with the options to start, stop, or restart the gateway container. These operations, of course, map to Docker start, Docker stop, and Docker restart commands. What is the point of restarting the gateway container when you can stop or start it? That's exactly what it does. This is a native Docker command, Docker restart. The best practice for using restart gateway container is on a container that you're not sure if it's running, if it's alive and well. You know it's not stopped. If there's some ambiguity about the status of the container, you can run the restart gateway command, and this will perform a stop and a start. If you were to execute restart gateway container on a running container, it would simply be a stop command. So I'm going to select stop gateway container. We know our container is running, and click execute. Okay, so here we see the stop gateway container command was issued. So let's go back to the gateway service page to confirm the status of gateway there. I'm going to scroll down, and there you see status stopped, gateway is stopped. Let's go back to the diagnostics page to start the container back up. So you'll click diagnostics, you're going to scroll down, select start, click execute, and the start gateway command was issued. So we're just going to give this a second or two to give Docker time to spin up the container. You can verify the status of the container from the gateway services page. We scroll down, status running, gateway is running. And we'll go to our browser and punch in the IP of the BDDS, and there we see the gateway login page. This is a good sign that the container is up and running as normal. And let's be completists. Let's return back to the diagnostics page. We know that the container is running, so we are going to perform the restart gateway container command. I'll select that from the drop-down and click execute. Restart gateway command was issued. If I go to the browser, you can immediately see that the container was stopped. As we said earlier, the restart gateway container command is a Docker stop and then a Docker start. So if I return to the server details page of this BDDS, I can go back to service configuration and the gateway service page, and we can see gateway service is enabled, status running, gateway is running. We can go back to our browser tab, refresh, and there is the gateway login page. This container is back up and running. Upgrading a container. In this demo, I will be performing an upgrading simulating BDDS behind a firewall. In demo 2, we copied a custom image directly to the BDDS, simulating how to deploy a production gateway container. So for this demo, I'm going to continue with that same container. I'm going to copy a new image to upgrade the container that's running on the BDDS. To get going here, I'm going to return to the .95 BDDS from demo 2. This is a container that's running from a custom image that we copied directly to the BDDS, not over the internet. So just to show you here, there's that same custom image we built in the host record workflows into this container. So I'm going to log out of here, and we're going to return to BAM. And just as we saw in the last section, we are going to stop the container from the diagnostics page of the BAM UI. This should be considered a best practice. We do not recommend that customers connect directly to the BDDS via the Docker CLI and run the Docker stop command that way. Stay in the BAM UI. I'm going to return to the gateway service page just to confirm that gateway service is enabled, but the container is stopped. That's important. Stop the container, but do not disable gateway service. Next, let's copy the tar file of the new image for the upgrade directly to the BDDS. I'm going to use the same scp command from demo 2. At the prompt, I'm going to enter my BDDS root password, and the file begins to copy. For the sake of time, let's move this along. And the file has finished copying. So next, we need to unpack the tar file. So the first thing we need to do is SSH into the box. At the prompt, enter your BDDS root password. In demo 2, we described that gateway service is disabled by default. So when we were doing that initial deployment of the custom image, Docker was not running on the BDDS. In this instance, gateway service is enabled. If you recall, we stopped the container from the BAM UI and verified that gateway service was still enabled. So when performing an upgrade with BAM behind a firewall, you do not need to run that systemctl docker command to start up the Docker daemon. In this case, we are simply going to run the docker load command to unpack the new image. And we're done. Very fast loading time, as mentioned in demo 2. For this upgrade, Docker is pulling the diff of that new image. I've ran Docker images to verify that both images are on the box, the original image, and now the upgrade. Let's return to the BAM UI to complete the upgrade. Next, we are going to remove the old image and disable gateway service before deploying a new container from that new image. So we're going to return to the gateway service page. All right, so there you see the details of the image. The container is stopped. All right, so we are going to deselect the Enable Gateway Service checkbox, and we're going to check Remove Image. This is a best practice. In Integrity 9.3, Gateway Service on BDDS is supported as a single image and a single container. As such, we strongly advise you to remove the image when disabling gateway service as part of the upgrade process. Click Update to disable gateway service. All right, I want to just give this a little bit of time here just to properly initialize, and I'm going to take the scenic route back to the gateway service page for our next step. Okay, So we can see that gateway service is disabled, nothing's running. So let's complete this upgrade. I'm going to select the Enable Gateway Service checkbox. I'm not going to adjust ports or environment variables. So I'm going to clear out the repo and tag fields, and I will set the repository information for our new image. And this is GW-BDDS-upgrade, and the tag is 3. And I don't need to set a username and password. The image is on the box. I'm going to click Update. Okay, so I'm going to give this another second to initialize properly. I'm going to take the long route back to the Gateway Services page. From here I see Gateway Services enabled. This is good, and the container is running. So let's return to our browser tab and refresh. This again is the IP address of the BDDS. That looks good. Let's log in and let's verify that this container is running off of the new image. Success. If you recall, the original container simply had the host record workflows. This upgraded image had our familiar example workflows built right in. So there you go. Successful upgrade of a gateway container running on BDDS. To recap Demo 4, Container Management and Upgrades. The first half of the demo focused on controlling the gateway container. And as a best practice, we recommend starting, stopping, and restarting the gateway container from the BAM UI. Our upgrade demo showcased how to upgrade a container when BDDS is behind a firewall. We needed to first stop the container in BAM, ensure that gateway service was running. Then we copied the tar file of the new image to the BDDS and unpacked it using the docker load command. We returned to BAM to remove the old image and disable gateway service. And then we re-enabled gateway service, setting the details of the new image tag.